Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Pokemon News. Today, we're going to be going over the announcements made at the end of the Pokemon World Championships from 2024, as well as some other new information that was given out this week as part of the World Championships. So, let's get started. First of all, let's go over the results of the Pokemon World Championships themselves that were live in Honolulu this weekend. There were a lot of new winners claimed, so let's check those out. First of all, in the VGC, these three Pokemon reigned supreme as the restricted Pokemon to win the day. Kevin H. of the United States won the junior division with his team of Raging Bolt, Rillaboom, Farigiraf, Rapid Strike Urshifu, Ice Rider Calyrex, and Incineroar. Rei Yamanaka from Japan won the seniors division with his team of Rillaboom, Amoonguss, Raging Bolt, Shadow Rider Calyrex, Incineroar, and Rapid Strike Urshifu. And Luca Cerabelli of Italy won the Masters division with his team of Miraidon, Heartflame, Ogerpon, Rapid Strike Urshifu, Iron Hands, Whimsicott, and Farigiraf. The final battle for the Masters division was intense, going to 3 matches. It was really fun to watch. And the Farigiraf came in key in that battle. So if you go and watch it, check that out. Moving on to the TCG, several different decks won the day at the different divisions. Sakuya of Japan won the juniors division with his Roaring Moon EX deck. Evan P. of the United States won the seniors division with his Apex Dragon Regidrago V-Star deck. And Fernando Cifuentes of Chile won the Master division with his Iron Thorns EX deck. Regidrago V-Star did have 4 of the 8 top cut decks, but it did not make the final match, and Iron Thorns EX did win the day. Sticking with TGC for a second, there was a player that was DQ'd from the TCG tournament. He made an inappropriate, obscene gesture after he won his quarterfinal and was DQ'd, and the eventual winner was allowed to move on because of that. So remember, folks, gotta make sure that we're staying kid-friendly at the Pokemon World Championships. Moving on to Pokemon Unite, a new team has finally won after the two-time defending world champions were knocked out basically in their first match of the day. Team Fennel from Japan were the ones who won. They dominated from the start, and they scored with ease, with little resistance. Blaziken was the key to their victory, and a lot of people in the internet and in the chat are talking about how it's potentially going to get nerfed because of how dominant it was in this tournament. Also, Mamoswine for the first time played a part in Fennel's victory, which was pretty big for that Pokemon in Pokemon Unite. Finally, in Pokemon Go, Yikai0904 from Hong Kong won the Pokemon Go World Champions. In the last 2 years, he had not won a single match at a World Championship, but he won out this weekend with his team of Altaria, Skarmory, Lickitung, Chargebug, Shadow Quagsire, and Annihilate. Congratulations to all of the winners. A lot of information came out about Pokemon trading card game Pocket this weekend as well. A bunch of new cards were shown off in both a trailer and at the event itself, including this Mewtwo EX and this Eevee. The card art for these cards looks absolutely amazing, which is really fun. It's always nice to see really beautiful cards being utilized in a competitive format. And it seems like 2 prize Pokemon are going to have a lot less HP than in the standard game. As you can see, Mewtwo EX has only 150 hit points, making this game, like they said, as advertised, a lot faster paced than the standard Pokemon game. The new trailer also dropped, and you can now pre-list Pokemon TCG Pocket on the Google Play Store and the Apple Store. The first set in the game is going to be called Genetic Apex, and it's going to have over 226 cards in it. From the trailer, we also saw that there's only going to be 3 bench spots available in battles, and the game will release in October, or the end of October of this year. So if you look forward to that, if you're a Pokemon card fan, I would, however, make sure that you check that your phone or your device is up to date and that it can run the game. I checked mine, it does not, so I might need to be upgrading my hardware a little bit. They also made a bunch of other announcements at the closing ceremony, so let's go over those a little bit. First off, in Pokemon Go, they revealed Morpeko will be the next Pokemon to add to the game, and it's going to be able to change its forms in battle with its Aura Wheel attack. So it's going to be able to go from the regular mode to the Hangry mode using Aura Wheel. They also showed off and teased that Dynamax and Gigantamax are going to be in the game. And in the trailer, the girl who was in the trailer was catching a Krabby, and we know that Kingler has a Gigantamax form, so potentially that was a little nod to Kingler potentially being that first Gigantamax form that gets released. In Pokemon Unite, they announced 3 new Pokemon will be joining the roster over the next couple of months. Armarouge will be coming in the middle of September. Darkrai will join in October, and then Psyduck will join as a support Pokemon in November. In the world of the Pokemon trading card game, at least in the standard format, they did announce a new mechanic rejoining the Pokemon trading card game in 2025. They're going to be bringing back trainers Pokemon, like all the way back in the Gym Leader Challenge set. So there are going to be Pokemon that are specifically a certain trainers. The 4 Pokemon they showed off are Lily's Clefairy EX, Marnie's Grimmsnarl EX, N's Zoroark EX, and N's Reshiram. But there will be certainly more of that. They did also tease a few more trainers like Red and Misty potentially getting Pokemon in these new sets. And they said that Team Rocket might be returning, so we might be getting new Team Rocket cards in the Pokemon trading card game. Very exciting. The last thing they announced is that there will be 2 new they're not new locations, but the next 2 Pokemon World Championships will be taking place in Anaheim in 2025 and then in San Francisco in 2026. So they're sticking to the United States for the next couple of years. Unfortunately, there were no new updates for Pokemon ZA. It seems we're not going to be getting any news on that game until there is a presence later in the year, possibly in around November or the holidays. So no more information about this game yet. We were pretty pumped for what could potentially be some news shared at the World Championships, but it seems they have skipped for this time. Let's move on to some of the things that are coming up in the Pokemon world that we already knew about, starting with in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. The last summertime event is coming with Dragonite coming August 23rd, so in a couple of days. Dragonite will be normal type, and then all the pseudo-legendaries that have not been in Outbreaks already will be in Outbreak events, so you can shiny hunt them. So Larvitar and Bagon will be in Paldea, Hisuian Sliggoo and Goomy will be in Kitakami, and Beldum will be in the Terrarium. If you haven't been stocking up on Urban Mystica, this might be your opportunity to do that. So you might need to beat Dragonite a couple of times. Also, Regulation H is coming, this new rule set for the Pokemon VGC where there are no Paradox or Legendary Pokemon. A lot of Pokemon have been hyped up as the top competitors in this new format, including Incineroar, Blood Moon Ursaluna, and then Goldengo and Dondozo Tatsugiri becoming back from the very beginning of Scarlet and Violet's lifetime, as well as some new partners in Archaludon, Metagross, and Rillaboom. Moving over to the world of Pokemon Go, they did announce during Worlds that there will be a PvP rework, and so some Pokemon will be receiving new moves, and then a lot of moves are being either buffed or debuffed. So a lot of them are losing a little bit of power or are gaining a little bit of power. They're also going to be changing the cooldown timer for switching from 60 to 50 seconds, so that's going to be changing as of September 3rd. So if you're looking to compete in those kinds of tournaments or those kinds of competitions, that's when that'll be changing. Also, you still have the opportunity to get the Pokemon Worlds t-shirt in Pokemon Go. This code is still active, A6NEWU63K9AU8. So you can get the white Pokemon Worlds t-shirt with that code. You can redeem it at Niantic's Redemption website. Moving on to Pokemon Sleep, this week started Water Week. So this is an opportunity to get water-type Pokemon and level them up. It is best for you to play on Greengrass Isle or Cyan Beach. Those are going to have the most water Pokemon available for trainers. And then Wooper and Quagsire are the new Pokemon available this week. So 2 new water Pokemon that you can get just in time for Suicune which will be coming in September. Make sure you get a good camp ticket and a master cookie to guarantee you get at least one Suicune without having to worry about the special Suicune cookies. And then train your water Pokemon during Water Week to make sure that you can maximize your effect in this event. Moving on to Pokemon Unite, other than the 3 Pokemon that were announced at the closing ceremony, there's a new battle mode that was showcased at Worlds. In this mode, there's not a time limit, but instead a score limit. So everybody's going to battle until they reach a certain amount of points. And they are saying that this mode may become the new mode for competitive gameplay. There will be special boosts in this mode, and it'll be coming in the spring of 2025. The latest Pokemon that was added is Ho-Oh. So if you haven't played in a while, Ho-Oh is the last Pokemon that was added before the World Championships. And then those 3 other Pokemon we talked about earlier are coming in the next couple of months. Final bit of news, it's a little old at this point, but Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Red Rescue Team is available now in the Nintendo Switch Online. It's a fun game. It was released on the Game Boy Advance all the way back then, with Blue version, the Blue Rescue Team, being released on the DS. So you can play by saving Pokemon and performing rescues, and it's a fun game to play. So you should check it out if you have the Nintendo Switch Online. One more bit of news for the Pokemon trading card game. Some cards from the new Paradise Dragona card set were revealed, including Latias EX, Alolan Exeggutor EX, and Archaludon EX. This is the latest set coming out in Japan, and it'll be coming out in a few weeks. So this is the first look at some of the cards in this set. And these cards will be in the set after Stellar Crown. Thanks so much for watching, and remember to subscribe so that you can stay up to date on your Pokemon news. We'll see you again later, trainers. Best of luck out there, and keep on doing what you're doing. You can do it.